Hello, friends. I want you to take a deep breath and just imagine for a moment a life filled with peace, joy, and purpose beyond what you've ever experienced. Today, I want to talk to you about something that can truly change the trajectory of your life, the life-changing power of faith in Islam. You see, faith is not just a word, it's a force. It's something that moves mountains, transforms hearts, and gives hope even in the darkest of times. No matter what you've been through, no matter the challenges you face, your faith can lift you up. It can give you strength you never knew you had. Now, I know sometimes life feels heavy. Maybe you've been struggling with worry, fear, or uncertainty. But let me remind you of this one thing in Islam. Faith, Iman, is not just about rituals or prayers. It's about trusting in Allah, knowing He is always by your side, and believing that everything that happens is part of a greater plan designed for your good. And the beauty of faith is that it doesn't just change your life on the outside, it changes you on the inside. It fills your heart with hope, it fills your mind with clarity, and it gives your soul a joy that cannot be shaken by the storms of life. Over the next few minutes, I want you to open your heart and let the power of faith speak to you. I want you to see that no matter your past, no matter your mistakes, faith has the power to guide you, protect you, and transform your life completely. You are not alone. You are never alone. And your faith is your greatest source of strength. Faith in Islam is a source of profound inner peace and mental clarity, a light that shines even in the darkest moments of life. When a person truly embraces Iman, faith becomes more than just a belief. It becomes a guiding force that shapes thoughts, emotions, and actions. Imagine waking up each morning with a heart free from anxiety, knowing that Allah is watching over you, that every challenge, every obstacle, and every moment in your life has a purpose within His divine plan. This sense of trust and surrender to a higher power brings a calmness that the world cannot give. It is a tranquility that flows from knowing that no matter how turbulent life may become, your connection to Allah is unshakable, and that connection nurtures your mind, your heart, and your soul simultaneously. Faith allows the mind to focus, to think clearly, and to make decisions with wisdom rather than fear. It removes the constant turmoil of worry and doubt, replacing it with a deep sense of assurance that every situation is under divine control. Mental clarity comes naturally when the heart is aligned with faith, because fear, anxiety, and stress lose their grip over your thoughts. This does not mean that life becomes easy or that difficulties vanish. Rather, it means that you face life's storms with a centered and calm mind, knowing that Allah's guidance is always near. Faith in Islam also fosters a sense of balance, helping individuals prioritize what truly matters and avoid being consumed by trivial worries or distractions. When your mind is anchored in belief, you are better equipped to see solutions rather than problems, opportunities rather than obstacles. The clarity that comes with faith allows for reflective thinking, helping one understand the deeper meaning behind experiences and hardships. It teaches that every event has a lesson, every trial is a test, and every blessing is a reminder of Allah's mercy. As a result, your perspective on life shifts. Stress loses its power, and patience and gratitude begin to take root. Inner peace through faith also strengthens emotional resilience. When the mind is calm, emotions are more balanced, and reactions to adversity become measured and thoughtful. Decisions are made with a heart guided by wisdom, and relationships benefit because empathy, understanding, and compassion flow more freely. In Islam, remembrance of Allah through prayers, dhikr, and reflection on the Quran reinforces this mental clarity. The act of turning to Allah in moments of uncertainty quiets the restless mind, reminding the believer that they are never alone and that divine support is constant. Faith allows a person to detach from unnecessary fear and anxiety, giving room for hope, creativity, and constructive action. It encourages a mindset where challenges are seen as opportunities for growth, setbacks as lessons, and success as a chance to show gratitude. This inner peace is not fleeting. It is a steady, enduring calmness that accompanies a person through life, providing strength, focus, and a clear vision for the future. Those who cultivate their faith experience a profound shift in consciousness, where the heart feels lighter, the mind sharper, and the spirit uplifted, allowing them to live fully in the present while trusting in Allah's perfect plan. Trusting Allah in Islam provides an unwavering source of strength, a power that sustains believers through the most difficult trials of life. When you place your trust in Allah, you acknowledge that He is the all-knowing, the all-powerful, and that His wisdom surpasses human understanding. This trust allows you to let go of the constant need to control every aspect of your life. Freeing your heart from fear and anxiety, life often presents challenges that seem insurmountable: loss, failure, uncertainty, and disappointment. But faith teaches that these difficulties are temporary and that Allah's plan is perfect, even when it is beyond our comprehension. By trusting in Him, a believer can face hardships with courage, knowing that they are never alone and that divine guidance is always available. Trusting Allah also fosters resilience, the kind that enables a person to rise after every fall, to continue striving even when the path seems unclear. It encourages patience because when you truly believe that Allah is in control, you can endure setbacks without losing hope. This reliance on divine wisdom gives a sense of security, a comforting assurance that life's outcomes are part of a larger, meaningful design. When fear of the unknown threatens to paralyze the mind, trust in Allah acts as a shield, calming doubts and reinforcing faith in the unseen. It also brings a profound sense of humility, reminding believers that they are part of something greater and that surrendering to divine will is a source of liberation, not weakness. This trust empowers people to make difficult decisions with confidence, guided by their understanding of what pleases Allah, rather than being swayed by worldly pressures or fleeting emotions. It strengthens character, instills perseverance, and nurtures hope, creating an inner fortitude that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. Trusting Allah is not passive, it inspires proactive faith, encouraging believers to take steps, make efforts, and pursue goals while relying on Allah for guidance and support. This dynamic combination of effort and reliance fosters a sense of purpose and determination, allowing individuals to navigate life with clarity and confidence. Moreover, trust in Allah nurtures a mindset where setbacks are not seen as failures, but as lessons, opportunities to grow, and moments to deepen one's connection with the divine. It creates a heart that remains steadfast in prayer, a mind that stays focused on solutions, and a spirit that rises above despair. The strength that comes from trusting Allah permeates every aspect of life. It influences relationships, career, health, and personal development. It allows a believer to act with integrity, patience, and courage, knowing that success and relief come according to Allah's perfect timing. This trust becomes a source of peace in the midst of chaos, a light in moments of darkness, and a foundation upon which a strong, resilient, and hopeful life is built. Those who embrace this trust find that they can endure trials with grace, face uncertainty without fear, and live with a confidence rooted not in their own strength, but in the infinite wisdom and support of Allah, creating an unshakable inner power that sustains them through every season of life. Daily prayers and rituals in Islam serve as a powerful source of discipline, structure, and purpose in the life of a believer, shaping both the heart and mind in profound ways. When a person commits to the 5 daily prayers, Salah, they are not merely performing a ritual, they are engaging in a spiritual practice that aligns their life with divine guidance. Each prayer is a moment to pause, reflect, and reconnect with Allah, reminding the believer of their ultimate purpose and the greater plan that governs their existence. This consistent practice cultivates a rhythm in life, a structure that brings order to the day and clarity to the mind. Beyond the physical act of standing, bowing, and prostrating, prayer is a form of mindful reflection that centers the heart and provides mental clarity. It teaches discipline because no matter how busy or distracted a person may be, setting aside time for prayer reinforces self-control and prioritization of what truly matters. Rituals such as fasting during Ramadan, giving zakat, and other acts of worship further strengthen personal discipline by requiring commitment, patience, and intentionality. These practices remind believers that life is not solely about immediate gratification, but about nurturing the soul, serving others, and developing qualities that lead to a meaningful and purpose-driven life. Daily prayers also instill a sense of accountability, as the believer is constantly reminded of their responsibilities to Allah and to others. This accountability fosters ethical behavior, encourages personal growth, and shapes decisions in a way that aligns with spiritual values. In addition, rituals create moments of reflection and gratitude, offering a chance to acknowledge blessings, seek forgiveness, and ask for guidance. This process of reflection reduces stress and provides a sense of peace, as the mind is reassured that divine support is always present. The consistency of these practices builds resilience, teaching patience in times of difficulty and humility in times of success. Moreover, the communal aspects of Islam, such as attending congregational prayers in the mosque, reinforce the sense of brotherhood and connection to a wider community, which further strengthens personal discipline and accountability. The repetition of prayer and ritual becomes a form of spiritual conditioning, training the mind to focus, the heart to trust, and the soul to find contentment in divine connection. Through this disciplined practice, believers develop a strong moral compass, a sense of purpose, and a clear understanding of their priorities, allowing them to navigate the challenges of life with confidence and serenity. Daily prayers and rituals also act as a reminder that life is a journey, with each act of worship contributing to spiritual growth and preparation for the eternal. This ongoing engagement with faith nurtures consistency, resilience, and inner strength, shaping a believer's character and perspective, helping them to remain grounded, focused, and purposeful even amidst the distractions and pressures of everyday life, guiding them toward a life that is meaningful, balanced, and spiritually fulfilled. Belief in divine wisdom in Islam provides a powerful framework for navigating life's uncertainties, offering clarity, reassurance, and a sense of purpose in every situation. When a person truly embraces the understanding that Allah's knowledge encompasses all things and that His wisdom governs every event, they gain a perspective that goes far beyond human comprehension. Life is full of unexpected twists and turns, challenges that seem unfair, and outcomes that may not align with our personal desires. Yet belief in divine wisdom allows a believer to approach these experiences with patience, trust, and hope. It teaches that nothing occurs by chance, that every hardship, every blessing, and every seemingly ordinary moment is part of a greater plan designed for the ultimate good. This understanding transforms the way a believer perceives difficulties. Instead of reacting with frustration or despair, they begin to see challenges as opportunities for growth, moments to strengthen character, and tests of faith that will ultimately lead to greater rewards. Trusting in divine wisdom cultivates resilience, allowing the heart to remain steady even when the mind struggles to comprehend why certain events unfold as they do. It encourages reflection and self-examination, prompting individuals to seek lessons in every situation and to align their actions with the values and guidance of Islam. Belief in divine wisdom also nurtures humility. When one recognizes that human understanding is limited, it becomes easier to surrender to Allah's plan, knowing that His knowledge and foresight are perfect. This surrender does not mean passivity. Rather, it inspires proactive effort with a sense of reliance and trust, a balance between striving and submitting, acting with diligence while leaving the results in Allah's hands. Moreover, it brings peace to the mind and heart, because the believer understands that life's uncertainties are not random or meaningless. When setbacks occur, instead of succumbing to anxiety or fear, they maintain hope that these experiences serve a higher purpose, preparing them for future challenges or opportunities. This perspective fosters patience, gratitude, and contentment as the believer learns to appreciate the wisdom behind both blessings and trials. Belief in divine wisdom also shapes decision guiding individuals to consider the ethical and spiritual dimensions of their choices, understanding that true success is measured not only by worldly outcomes, but by alignment with divine guidance and moral integrity. It encourages mindfulness, reflection, and intentional living, helping the believer prioritize long-term spiritual growth over fleeting desires. Furthermore, this belief strengthens faith, creating a deep sense of trust that Allah is always aware of what is best for His creation. It reduces fear of the unknown and cultivates courage to face uncertainty, knowing that every circumstance is part of a divine design. By internalizing the concept of divine wisdom, a believer develops emotional stability, mental clarity, and spiritual resilience, enabling them to navigate life with confidence, serenity, and purpose. This belief becomes a guiding light, illuminating the path through confusion and hardship, and empowering the believer to maintain hope, perseverance, and trust, knowing that behind every event, there is wisdom, compassion, and divine intention at work, shaping their journey and leading them toward growth, understanding, and ultimate fulfillment. Faith in Islam encourages forgiveness and the act of letting go of grudges, offering profound emotional and spiritual benefits. When a believer chooses to forgive, they release the weight of anger, resentment, and bitterness that can cloud the heart and mind. Holding on to grudges not only affects mental clarity, but also blocks the flow of inner peace that faith provides. Islam teaches that forgiving others is a reflection of Allah's mercy and compassion, reminding believers that just as they seek forgiveness from Allah for their own mistakes, they should extend mercy to those who have wronged them. This practice strengthens character, fostering humility, patience, and understanding. Forgiveness is not always easy, especially when the hurt runs deep, but faith empowers the believer to rise above personal feelings and act from a place of spiritual awareness. By letting go of resentment, the heart becomes lighter and emotional burdens are lifted, allowing for healthier relationships and a more peaceful state of mind. Moreover, forgiving others opens the door for personal growth, teaching empathy and resilience while reinforcing trust in Allah's justice and wisdom. This act of mercy creates harmony within the individual and in interactions with others, cultivating a life rooted in compassion and faith.